Mobile Housing Board firing back tonight in the face of accusations of financial mismanagement and conflict of interest. Last night, we reported on the mayor calling for an independent audit based on a report released by the Department of Housing and Urban Development. But the board's executive director says the report doesn't tell the whole story, and some of the claims are downright misleading. News 5's Emily DeVoe joins us now in the studio. Emily, what else did he tell you?
Well, Roseanne, he says after reading the report, it's obvious they're not on the same page as the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, and he has an explanation for a lot of the claims found in the department's report.
When it comes to the 70-page federal investigation into the Mobile Housing Board, Executive Director Dwayne Vaughn says don't believe everything you read.
I wouldn't call it a witch hunt. I would call it a difference in how we should go about with our public housing.
The report points out the more than 1,000 empty units, despite the board being given millions of dollars in grant money to restore them.
There's just not enough money to do all of the things that we need to do. And so we made a strategic decision not to make a lot of units in properties that we want to tear down ready. And so that's, but now when we look back, the OIG has a slightly different opinion about how we should have gone about that.
Vaughn says the majority of those vacancies are in 3 developments they want to tear down and rebuild: Roger Williams, Josephine, and Thomas James. The report also says the board failed to disclose a conflict of interest and withheld important documents.
We gave literally hundreds of pages of documents to the OIG. We had not been informed that there was anything else that they needed that we hadn't provided.
As for the conflict of interest, Adeline Clark, the senior vice president of the board's affiliate, Mobile Development Enterprises, is related to a contractor. But Vaughn says that relationship didn't play a role.
That individual did not participate in the solicitation in any way, did not score it, did not present it, does not supervise, does not benefit. We don't believe there's any conflict whatsoever.
Vaughn says his next step is to call their local field office and try to get on the same page.
Another miscommunication appears to be the number of people on the waiting list. The OIG's report says nearly 10,000 people are on it, but Vaughn says that number is misleading because more than half of them are actually on a list for Section 8 vouchers to allow them to live in private housing, and another big chunk of the people on that list are waiting for specific places to live like the Renaissance. Live in the studio, Emily DeVoe, News 5.